Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today we're getting very specific and I want to make a step-by-step guide on buying your first investment. That means first, finding out what you want to buy. Second, finding a broker where to buy it from. And three, actually buying it. Starting with step one, picking a product. Now, for beginners, what I would recommend is to just invest in a broad market index ETF, which the index ETF just tracks the performance of the whole market, say in the US or in Europe or wherever it's based, because beating the market is extremely hard and unrealistic for most investors. So you're better off just matching the performance of the whole market, which is on average from 10 to 11, 12% for the S&P 500, that is, which is the US market, and just buying that. That contains basically 500 of the top US companies, and you're buying a small portion of each company when you invest in that index ETF, which means that your investment is very diversified and it encompasses a whole bunch of companies, sectors, and markets. So therefore, it is the most simple, efficient, low cost, and versatile way for you to invest your money. Because picking single stocks is a very difficult thing to do, and most people, including myself, have made some errors doing that. And it's not recommended for beginners for sure, unless maybe you're picking blue chip stocks, which is the big names like Google, Apple, Facebook, whatever. But even so, you are risking a lot more than just investing in a broad market ETF. Okay. So let me show you what I mean. What I would recommend to do is just pick one of the funds that are either from Vanguard or from BlackRock, which are companies who obviously manage these funds. And these are well-established big companies that are very reliable. And if you invest in a broad market index fund, like I would recommend to do, as not just myself, but many of the biggest investors recommend as well, such as Warren Buffett. If he says, just if you're a beginner, just buy the S&P, don't bother with anything else. That's probably the wisest choice. So you hop onto the website, and if you go to products, equity, you'll see this menu, and then you can see all the different types of ETFs that you can buy. Here, this is the S&P 500 ETF, which is accumulating. What that means is any dividends that it pays out are automatically reinvested and are not paid out to you directly. And it has a management fee of just 0.07%, which is very low. It's the lowest actually of any funds that they have. If you go to this fund here, you can see all the details, the previous performance that it has from the previous years. Here per calendar year, you can see each year how much it returned. 2020 was 18%. And this is annualized performance. So since inception of this fund, it has been doing 15% per year. Now, historically, the S&P over its existence has been doing about 10 or 11%. Because this fund is not covering the whole history, I guess, of the ETF, it's slightly higher. And here you can see all the other types of details that you might be interested in to learn about the fund. Including down here, you will see what it holds, which companies it holds, and what's the weight of each company. And then which sector and where it is listed. Now this is important because if you are in the EU, like myself, you are better off buying a fund which is also EU based, because that gives you a tax benefit. Now, if you buy a fund which is based in the US or somewhere outside of Europe, you're more likely to, well, you will have to pay more taxes. In Bulgaria, where I'm based, that's about 10%. If you buy an EU fund, however, you're not paying anything. Of course, if you buy something from London, which, as we know, because of Brexit, you're also gonna owe taxes on that. So it's recommended that you look at something from the Netherlands or from Germany or from Italy, anywhere in the EU. And these are the tickers which you can use to find the actual fund. which is when you go to the search bar in the app, that's what you type and the fund should be there. So this is the main fund that we're going to buy, the S&P 500. But there's also, because I want to do something interesting, not just be very, very extremely boring and conservative, let's buy something that is, something more alternative. And in this case, it's the Global Clean Energy ETF. I believe in clean energy. I believe a lot of young people do. We know that that's where the world is headed. So clean energy is something that I want to invest in. So I can see here the performance again of the ETF. 2020 was 140%. That was a crazy year for this ETF. All the different data, PE, etc., whatever you want to look at. And I'm also going to buy a little bit of the automation and robotics ETF, which is a sector that I believe will grow a lot in the future. So I want to be invested in there, and that's what I'm buying as well. Now the split that we're looking at is about 60-ish% of S&P 500, about 20-25% of the Global Clean Energy ETF, and about 15% of the automation and robotics ETF. That's what I'm going to pick, and I'm going to invest $1,000 into those products, and we're going to see what happens. But you are perfectly fine to just do the S&P 500. In fact, that's what I would recommend you do if you do not want to bother too much with this investment and looking into stuff and researching and whatever. Just buy the S&P. That's it. Okay, so the next step is pick a broker and download the app. Now there are many, many broker choices that you can use. I personally use Interactive Brokers, but their platform is very cumbersome. It's very difficult. It's very not user-friendly. It's more oriented towards professional investors. I myself am not using the full capabilities of that platform as well because it's too advanced. If you're a beginner, you're better off using something simple like eToro or Trading 212 or E-Trade or whatever your preferred broker is. I would recommend that you go in there and look at potentially what is suitable for you. But for this example, I'll be using Trading 212, which I believe is a very simple and user-friendly broker. At least their mobile app is very good. So what we'll do now is we'll download the app, we'll register, we'll put some money in there, and we'll go ahead and buy those ETFs that we just looked at. So I've downloaded the app, and the first thing you want to do is obviously register. When you start registering, you will see that actually the app asks you if you want an investment account or a CFD account. It's important that you choose an investing account because CFDs are for traders, basically people who day trade this stuff and are not appropriate for our investing purposes. They're going to need your ID, your address, and also a proof of address. Once you send that in, your account would be registered and verified. Trading 212 offers free account top-up from a credit card up to 2,000 euros, but after that there's a fee. And usually for this kind of stuff we use the bank transfer. Now in this case I'm just gonna put 1,000 euros and invest those along with you. And once we've done that, we'll go ahead and select our products. Just type in iShares Core S&P 500, and then you make sure you buy the one that is based in Germany. That's the price per share. Thankfully, this platform will allow us to buy partial shares as well. So we can buy exactly 60% of our portfolio. So 60% of 1,000 is about 600 and something euros. And we'll just go ahead and buy that, send buy order, and it should fill pretty much instantly. And there we go. Okay. So next, we're going to go ahead and check it out in our portfolio, which is right there in the little circle on the left. There we go. We have 1.5 shares of the S&P 500. So we can go back and now we can buy the iShares Global Clean Energy. Okay, so here it is, 12 euros. We're just going to see, we're going to buy 18 shares, give or take. Just buy, send the buy order. Okay, filled instantly again. Can go back again to check it out in our little portfolio circle. can see here that about 20% of that is iShares Global Clean Energy. And the last one in the search bar is the automation and robotics. So we'll go ahead and search that. Okay, got it again from the German exchange as well. So go ahead and buy however many shares that's going to be. I think that's going to be about 14 shares. Yep. Nope, it's not going to allow us because we don't have enough cash. So, okay, let's do 13.5. Nope, not cash. Okay, 13.5. 13. Okay. Send the buy order. And this one might not fill instantly. Let's see, it might take a little bit of time. Okay, here we go. That's it. So now you have all of your ETFs. That's basically it. That's that simple. We just hold and see what happens. Hopefully you get a good return. One disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not advising you to do this. This is what I personally would do. What I suggest you do is you research your own ETFs. Maybe you want to buy from Vanguard. Maybe you want to buy ARK. Maybe you want to buy something else. Maybe you want to use a different platform, different broker. This is just an example that I'm giving you and something that I personally would do. And you, however, should make your own decisions and do your own research. Obviously, like I said, my main portfolio is on Interactive Brokers. It's not on Trading 212, but with Trading 212, at least I want to be able to give you an example and to be able to track this portfolio along with you. It's not that hard. As you can see, it's just download an app, register and buy. That's it. And you can do it with any amount. You can invest 100 euros, you can invest 50 euros, you can invest however much you can afford, however regularly you want. Just start. It's not that hard and it's not that complicated either. But that's it for today's video. See you next time.